up, and Coach
Let me start the recording. Let's hope my OBS survives.
Little weaknesses and to
Oh,
exploit
Breeze
them.
Ascent
And it
split.
can happen,
Breeze was
especially when
RRQ's
Flips
pick.
is on
Okay,
that
lovely.
front line. I mean,
Does
this
this game
guy on
matter?
the
Yes, it
Yoru,
does.
but you
Not
also
for
need the
split
entire team
one,
to be
not for
right up there
champs,
next
not
to
for
him.
Shanghai, but for
Flips,
champs,
Jemkin, they
this
can work
matters.
together as a duo,
The split
but
2
we want to
playoffs,
see
which
more
you
from,
make
like,
champs
LQ
with,
more Estrella,
is what
Xfair as well.
matters.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be needed. Look at this GenG going for a hard read on this B push. It's going to be a double swing out. Xfero, he's going to be able to buy time just
Bail
now.
out, boys. Bail out.
Oh, man. That's
He gets blocked with the dash and he still gets the kill. Like his teammate saying, no, you're going to stay and keep dueling, man. You're going to win this duel.
And GenG has the information.
Most people would panic there.
Guy
Guy just stays calm, keeps tapping.
Yeah, that was, I mean, like you said, the dash, not great for texture. Kind of
This split in comparison doesn't matter. Nah, it matters exactly the same amount.
Tried to play it best he could. So now RRQ has to
You would say
it
matters the same amount as the
outside of B, so they're trying to tighten the
splits are combined.
See if they can get a wraparound over.
Basically, all I would say now is forget the splits, forget the groups. We have our playoff teams, so now forget the original groups. Everyone's now in one giant group. That's the best way I can describe it to you. Forget the groups. The groups are done. Don't even worry about the groups. Teams play 4 or 5 games, and they're all in the same group.
Now he's going to try to explore to mid, but
Top 6 goes champs.
Still there, but the gravity well is good from Karon.
All the other teams have playoffs for Shanghai.
Right inside the site.
That's the thing about Karon. He is so darn good, and his utility is pretty sharp as well. Lakia now coming back in just to support the team, and although Munchkin fell, he got all of that information.
GenG starting on defense here. I mean, RRQ need to get like what, 4? Realistically,
this one, GenG picks up the pistol.
4 considering how good GenG's been.
They go for the early
oh no, wait, they're the ones on attack. Let's flip that. Let's flip that. They need to get like 8.
We'll give it to him, but if
These have been struggling on defense.
We re-clear once the smokes
They need
drop.
8.
So, once you don't see any movement into A, yeah, there's that dash. Still gets the kill off of it.
Dennis.
But the thing is, all
dude,
that
22 months with the tier 2. Thank you so much, Dennis.
During that poison orb from the attackers,
thank you so much, man.
Through double doors. It's very step by step.
Dude, texture seems so funny, man.
I mean, for now, it is pistols.
I tell you what, the Pacific content that they're doing with the teams is so good. It's so good. The other regions could, like other regions do good content as well, but I think when you get all the teams sitting around in a group, I think some of the stuff they're making them do is sick.
As the pistols kind of fire through.
Questions are good. It has a lot of thought behind it, and
yeah, we do have
it's not like forced and serious. It's like fun, but you get good info out of them.
Here's the arrow, though.
I feel like they're killing it with the content. They're doing so good.
Texture turns around at the right time. Impactful shot.
Oh man, the whip around jump 180. Perfect with it.
Because the coach's one was cool, the duelist one was cool, and then what's the next one? Controllers.
So now you know Karon's always going to be ready with that. And a lot of times he's going to be stationed on the A side, but GenG will switch it up at some point during this first half.
And we got armor rebuy. That's pretty much it. And it's a bonus, so I'm guessing Texture won't buy. I'm just going to circle it in case he could be tempted to buy armor. I don't think he should, but he's going to buy armor.
Very carefully checking back in. The way that Karon
does EMEA do content? I don't think so. I think EMEA seems to get the orgs to do content and then plays the orgs content. Because I've seen a lot of Giants content.
Yeah, lots of half armor though. We'll see if that bites him a little bit on this on the long ranges of Breeze. So it looks like RRQ now on the default with the full buy. So you want to continue to pressure.
Okay, so Texture does go for the heavy armor.
Out from Karon. Karon actually didn't even
which again is
stars placed. He waits to see if there's
as a bonus. I wouldn't be doing
it.
But
they're on their bonus, trying to maximize the time they can gain. And by putting the stars late and still seeing no reaction, he can now save onto activating those. This is really good time usage because GenG, again, no Sentinel. They gotta make sure every second counts.
I'm liking this from Meteor as well. Meteor's just waiting a little bit before sending this out. He's just watching tube. Then he sends his TP out, so he's going to have a TP pretty late into the round as well. We go walking and flips. I was worried he was going to be sleeping a little bit, but he was fully on it.
Adventurous sneaks out of Hall, gets punished by Flips.
Yeah, and Flip seeing both there is actually really important information, right? So now you know that Halls is still covered, but he's going to try to make sure that he can find value on the lurk. RRQ is shifting towards A because they think, okay, we've tied up Halls, now they have to be spread thin. So they're expecting someone from A to go back over there. They're expecting a 2-2 split. But GenG says, listen, we've got this toxic screen Munchkin can hold. It's a 3-person stack near A.
So much trust into Munchkin, so the rest of the squad has to make it happen. And again, you got Meteor on that Marshall. He's been deadly with it before. Can he make it happen?
There's no way. Bro's just running and gunning. Oh, what a shot, bro. Oh, what a shot, man. Oh, dude, I was hoping for a third one. Timing on this peak is great as well. Absolute shots, man.
Bonus round pickup by
Absolute shots.
Oh, that is devastating. They even tried to put in the recon, but just didn't expect him to be holding right inside on the right side. Thought it might be against the spike plant. Perhaps a bit of a mistiming as well from RRQ on that peek in. And the thing is Meteor being there helps, right? Because Meteor draws the attention away from Jemkin. Jemkin was ready for it. He wanted to peek off of that recon. Oh, yeah, there it is. That spray down. Karon's enjoying the time on stage. Oh, how
yeah, like the run and gun. Oh, that's a lovely combo. Lucky to be alive, to be honest.
A little bit nervous, but now just so comfortable.
Like this push though. Like this push with the updrafts. Fast lands here.
Support him as well. Now you've got the early A main control, and they're peeking out, taking down, the duelists like Jemkin.
This is a rough one. Having to sit right back down to a broken buy here. Just one Bulldog on the side of Xfero. Since oftentimes he'll be on that lurk, he'll go for a smaller buy the next round. They'll go for a kind of 1-4-4-1 buy 2 rounds in a row. Try to just maximize any chance that they have. But the thing is trying to draw out the early stars from A. I'm fine with that. But you got to have you got to start to mix in a little bit more, because so far, already 3 rounds in, none of your plans have worked for RRQ.
Still trying just to spread across the board, but even then,
it's been pretty convincing at the moment. See what the next buy round looks like, but looks like a bit of a nightmare.
Able to find an opening shot, but not before GenG fires 2 right back against RRQ. There's the third.
That's solid. Their money is so good right now. Does RRQ do a timeout before?
Weapon a little bit weak on that previous round. But again, I expect the beginning of this round to start all the same. RRQ, draw out the stars from Karon, but you got to make him activate at least a smoke, right? You have to make sure that he's using at least 1 star, even if you can't draw out the gravity well. And then you got to pressure Munchkin. Munchkin's been free to just kind of focus on his aim. All through and through, all rounds so far. Got to have a little bit of extra impact across the entire map. They do have the dimensional drift though, so maybe take this opportunity.
Yeah, we are just sending this one. You got to imagine that Karen's dead. Karen, get out of there. At least they double up. Body system. Yeah.
Look at how GenG just plays around it. They just fall back, trying to pepper.
Interesting. Yoru's over towards short now, but it's not the good plant for short. So Yoru has to really go fast, like probably run the whole way.
Xfero and Jemkin now just watching around the pyramid, sets up a bit of a crossfire.
Okay, yeah, goes over towards door, and dude, he's so late over towards door that you'd imagine this is a done round.
The Neuro Theft comes out, but it doesn't
Yoru should get the kill.
Able to flick back around. Oh, Texture able to fire back, but Texture back to the front. He's trying to watch every single angle. Is he fast enough to make it happen? The snake bite, it goes down. He's managed to suck the defuse down to halfway, which is not too bad. A bit of
respect though.
With that cloud burst, but
that's a good way of doing it. He's gonna land like just as you start, so in theory it covers you the whole time. It's a really nice try.
Yeah, but a costly one still, right? Not able to really snowball as much as they would have liked, given the investment that they had. But overall, I like it from Flip.
Very smart.
All he does, he's not looking for a cheeky kill. He's just pushing them far back enough so that they can stick the plant. Afterwards, he goes in as extra insurance on that flank. He TPs all the way back outside of B window. Meanwhile, I love the repositioning. Once they lose Elmimore, they reposition. Xfero actually hides right outside the toxic screen, and then they purposely wait until it runs out. They know exactly when it's going to drop, and they get the jump onto extra members of GenG. And off of that, now RRQ starts to pressure mid a bit. They
Giorgimo, hello mate.
Target this A
Dude,
site.
that
They
clip,
want nothing to do with
that
their touch
clip.
screen on the B
Oh
side.
my god.
Meteor tries to
The
get
Bucky
a little
clip?
information off of that as well, though.
It
crashes
was
back
something
into
else,
me,
man.
So he knows there's a bit of presence up around this area.
Probably
How does
my
Karen
favorite
work
clip in
around
the
it?
game so
He's
far.
getting a little bit
Not
cautious,
gonna lie.
so bit of a jump peek just to spot out the information, and he sees it on the mini-map, goes in
Big
for
win
the
as well,
drift
man.
away shot
Congrats.
against Elmimore. Karen now swaps back over onto mid, takes down Flips. He is just prepared for everything, ready to strike, and strike he will. Jemkin now fires back. That's Karen down, but Texture has the cover with the operator. The spike has been dropped. Jemkin, right in between the pyramids, tries to push out front, spots out the fake out, able to shoot it down, but now has to play around the
Ah man,
timing
it's
of
so
things, because
dead.
he knows that operator is still looming over his head. Waits
Whoa.
for a bit of support from Estrella, but as they pick out, it's
Okay,
gonna be
well,
Meteor,
Recons
who
everything,
shuts
and it's
down
one of
any
those
hope of RRQ
nightmares
winning this
for
round.
RRQ.
It almost feels like
And
RRQ
honestly,
is
the save
trying
should
to
be good.
abuse
1-9
the
on
fact
top
that
of
GenG
this.
has
Like
no
they'll,
Sentinel, but
if he
not
manages
by
to
going
save
for
though,
flanks. They're trying to
they'll
do
force
it by
into it.
assuming that GenG has to go for a 2-1-2 default. And they're not wrong. It is a fairly spread out default because there's no Sentinel utility. But the thing is I mean, if you're not able to draw Karen out, if you don't take him out or get rid of
This
that
team,
utility,
yeah.
you will
Dude,
get
GenG,
choke point, and then you have to wait. So Flips, he tries to come in.
I tell you what's
Karen
impressive
says, well,
about
you guys put up your
GenG,
toxic screen, I can actually just focus
they
on
went to
double doors.
Masters,
I don't
right?
have to
But
worry
they
about covering my
still
back. So
still are
he
bringing
actually
new
uses the
stuff in.
opponent's toxic
It's
screen
like
against
little
him.
micro
I mean,
things like that. The whole kind of
I feel like they're
strats and just how they want to approach rounds pretty much similar.
But
they still have the same like macro for a lot of their rounds, but there's a few little changes that they've added.
It's
And
really,
it's sick, man.
really strong, incredibly impressive, especially this first kill. The way that he kind of has an idea that they might be around this spot. Goes in for the jump peek, gets the fadeaway shot.
Like Heretics?
Then, like you said,
Or
because
Heretics are
of
probably
a
the
read,
most
swaps back
impressive, though.
over onto mid. So
Heretics are coming out with
definitely some
brand new
issues
stuff
for RRQ
all
to
the
iron
time.
out in the next round.
Only one on the board for RRQ. You know, I think the previous rounds, obviously the dimensional drift.
If Heretics go Shanghai, I'm a bit worried for them, man. Like I'm a bit worried because obviously they'll do insanely well, but I feel like they
tried to go for a plant.
someone there's gonna be completely wrecked, and it might be the coaches, and probably that's good though if it's just the coaches.
I mean, again, unless you can draw out this gravity well without taking damage, without losing a member, this A site. Rush, you know, the
Heretics are pioneers. They're probably the team where I'm like, over all of the maps, I like their comps the most.
They said they thought they had a good
So,
plan, and the plan
yeah,
was to
in
just
terms of what you're saying, I
roll
think
down
so.
into A. Why? Because it's gonna be a spread out default. Because it's
Do
gonna
you
be
agree
a
that
default,
strategy is more
but the
important than
hold
star
is just
power?
too
I mean,
good.
yeah.
Sentinels learned that.
Dude, you can
they
just
adjusted in the finals. They were able to
I
get
think so.
some more rounds,
Like,
sure,
I think that's
still
I think that's why I like this
and
game so
RRQ
much.
has
I
to
think that's
figure
why
out
I
what
prefer
was
it to
that
CS.
adjustment that Sentinels made at Masters of the Grid.
Because everyone can aim to
That's
like
the
a
question right
pretty
now.
set standard.
How do
Obviously, you can
work
have some
against,
like
you know,
people
a player
that are
like
just
Karen,
way more
for example?
consistent,
How do you work
etc.
against this
But
entire setup? Now you've got Texture on
the
an
aiming's
operator, and that
not
just
the
makes
hard
things a
part
little
in
bit
this
more
game.
difficult. Those same 3 stars have been placed down again around this A site.
So GenG this time, a little bit more aware of halls, right? With that timeout, they're wondering, okay, since we don't have trap wires, is this hall control going to be a bit of a danger? Continuing to try to hold on to elbow. And they've done this a lot. Xfero's actually been really good at holding on to elbow on the attacking side, so I would have loved to see this a bit earlier. But we'll see. Is it going to be a bit too late for that timeout? GenG seems to have a good read. Munchkin, very well aware of it. He's aware of the util timings.
Goes back behind his own toxic screen just to get a little bit of safe cover. Texture able to be ready with the operator, but Jemkin just a little bit faster, updrafts into the air to strike him down with that knife. Munchkin now back in, trying to hold up around the sides, able to take down before Elmimore comes in with a sheriff
recon
of
was
his own.
nice,
Meteor
but
fires back. And now
why did he
tries to
not
get a
wall
little
up?
bit more space with that blind
Was it
side.
was
Estrella
it pure
is the one
fuel
who
on the
blinds
smoke, so we
his
didn't
side
have
at the
any
end,
fuel for
and
the
that's
wall
gonna be a
here?
2-on-3
Because honestly,
now.
the
Lakia
recon got so
looking
much. If you
for
put the
another
wall up here,
opening
he
against
pretty much
RRQ
won.
because of the
I think
previous
he
rounds. You've got that
did
Viper's Pit now ready.
my recon. I'm not entirely sure.
Karen, though, fires
Ooh.
through as the spike planter goes down. And that's going to be back to a 2-on-2. Viper's Pit still up, so this is not the worst
Can someone clip this round for me?
for RRQ.
I wanna
It's
look
not
at
exactly
boy,
that safe.
Jemkin.
Jemkin's been spotted. He thinks he's safe for the cloudburst, but Lakia swings out right around it.
So
Dude,
quick on the draw.
we have a recon
he's
for
got
this.
the recon available
Yeah,
as
we
well.
got the
His
recon
position's
for
just not
this.
good,
Uh-oh.
right? He has no walls to back himself up against.
Right
Okay,
up around
recon on the right,
edges,
but he's
that's
over
the
towards the
recon
left.
in. Now checking around the sides, trying to play off of each other's contact. They've spotted Karen. Estrella trying to stay alive, trying to stay hidden, tosses out the snake bite and repositions back into the little corner. How does Lakia check this? He hops up.
Almost from on the bridge. Oh, okay.
And there's the headshot right through Estrella's helmet.
Oh, he's got it, bro.
It's gonna be the spike defuse as well, just in the nick of time.
Oh man, .33. Listen, Estrella's repositioned. He peeks out of his pit and then right back in.
I think Shanghai will basically be any of us specific in upper brackets.
Exactly the options available. Okay, if you didn't wrap around
map or yeah, probably. Probably. If I'm being realistic, probably. I still have faith in a couple of the teams. Heretics play pretty weird. Foot play pretty weird.
A little bit too close to his own heart.
Cerebral checks. I mean, it's a little bit unfortunate. Estrella, you know, just trying to go for these ideas,
so they might have a good chance.
Unwittingly kind of backs himself into a corner, and that's a result.
I don't have much faith in the other EMEA teams, I'll be honest.
RRQ once again scratching their heads, looking for a solution against this GenG defense. We're back to an A hit. We've got the Hunter Sphere firing back now. Lakia taking down Elmimore. Xfer tries to push up front, but instantly taken back down. Karen holds up around double doors as well, so you're pretty much pinched in. Xfer able to fire back. Estrella getting the shot onto Munchkin. There's a little bit more room to possibly go back to B, but the spike's been dropped around Cave.
Yeah, and you got no
really not fit with Sage Lotus, bro. They don't play that again.
We're just looking to buy time for
not 100% sure.
Waiting, you know, if they
I'm pretty sure they don't play it again. Bro, they literally said in the interview it's one and done.
So
and then they just played it again because Fnatic wouldn't expect it to be played again.
I imagine once we get around the 40-second mark, someone has to start looking.
Surely they don't do that again. Surely it's not happening a third time. They might just play it until it loses, to be honest. I would be tempted.
Who's on the alert?
The way Foot are talking is like they have multiple comps and they're just playing around at the moment, which is a little bit scary.
Swings out, Xpero, not ready for that one.
Yeah, and we're just out here saving again.
Possibly thinking that they might maybe be all inside a cave, but that's just unfortunate how it all works out.
In the interview, yeah, that's the thing that's making me think they're going to use it again because they said it in the interview. Why would you say it otherwise?
And GenG just looking very, very comfortable.
And it's not like one of the Fragger players is saying it. It's like their IGL, right? So
man,
probably play
honestly,
it again.
I'm getting flashbacks to that first Sentinels match. And, you know, a lot of people said, oh, why is Sentinels just sticking with the same plan? But you imagine that on paper, okay, they've got no Sentinel.
FPX is going on a run.
Setups, we know the smoke
it's Shanghai.
All you have
Bro,
to do is draw out the first
if other maps look as good as their Ascent, then maybe. They'll actually get a win. If their other maps look as good as their Ascent, they'll get some wins this time. Still nervous for them in 5v3s, but
back off from the spike plant locations.
Very saying like this is like pretty much improvements from how GenG played against Sentinels as well.
Oh no, I don't think GenG's being tested. I think GenG's playing exactly the same, if anything.
Exactly the same.
I mean, it still works. Well, the defaults are the same, right? They haven't changed much of it. Now we see a bit of a change up with Meteor pushing out. Sure, you have the
still has his dash. You know he's going for more.
RRQ trusting the theory a bit too much. Lucky to stay alive on that one.
Wait.
That Texture getting a little bit too confident.
I mean, he's gonna spawn numbers and
but still safe enough to back out completely. And Karen's always anchoring down the site, always watching the backs. Somehow though, Jemkin right inside of the little cubby, able to fire back. Munchkin and Karen now trying to fight back on their own. Jemkin's still alive, trying to
not the two. How did the 2v4 fall apart this much? Karen is so good. Just spinning around, popping everyone.
For GenG.
I mean, Karen is so good. He's right back.
I was pretty impressed that RRQ got it managed to actually get this like relatively close.
Kickoff, maybe the first couple games of Madrid as well, where he was really
13-4, Texture 12-4.
Been pretty good, but he did start to look a little shaky returning to Korea. Maybe a little bit of that pressure getting to him that he has a title to defend at this point. But now, right back in the swing of things, looks as comfortable as ever.
I mean, it got a little bit dicey, you know, to be honest, for GenG with the way the Texture was playing in that position, very risky, kind of caught out, but then at the same time,
Viper, I'm telling you, it's good on this map.
And you're absolutely right, William, because Karen is just so sharp and so quick with how he ducks in and out of cover, how he stays tucked away, how he's so aware of the possible angles that he has to watch out for.
Yeah, a lot of Karen's kind of best pieces is his movement, actually, more so than his aim. Not trying to take anything away from his aim, it's great. But it's the movement that really allows him to get multi-kills. Like the first kill, sure.
Flip went for the fake clone. Dude, is that what that was? I was looking at it and I was like, there's no way he just went for the fake clone. And then he got insta-popped. We only saw like a little bit of it as he ran out. I think you're right as well. I think he did go for the fake clone and got insta-popped as he went from stairs. On a thing is, on a bonus or like on a low buy, man, I swear, most people are, especially in these rounds, are gonna shoot that. You want to do it on the big buy rounds. That's when it's not getting shot, man. Big buy rounds, fake clone. Imagine calling a timeout and then that's how you lose the first duel as well. It's a nightmare.
Lakia now will be able to play up around the switch. Spots out the player. Xfero will be able to be sneaky up against him. But then you've got Meteor instantly trading just to take Lakia's place. RRQ stretching their legs.
So RRQ, even things like that, right? Peeking right back outside of that metal door. It goes to show that RRQ thinks that GenG is sticking with the same default.
They're desperate.
You think it's just one guy watching Hall, the other two are in the site on A. That just wasn't the case right now from GenG. So RRQ, it does feel like they're working a lot off of what they prepared and not what they're seeing currently in the server.
Fake clone, yeah, I'm pretty sure round before this.
Because that is leading to an absolute landslide.
Out from holes.
Because of that, I mean, it also happens because GenG has the momentum. They've won so many rounds in a row, 4 rounds just to kick things off. RRQ
Dude, another save.
And then GenG fires back with another 4. And they constantly switch up their positioning because of it. Texture able to get that opening pick now. Meteor
Gabri, thank you. I'm gonna click this. Chat, maybe a flashbang. I don't know where this is gonna go.
It has to be the save for RRQ if they are to find more rounds in this first half. But like you mentioned, you know, how do they get that pinch against a player like Karen, for example? And if they can't even do that, you know, they're getting picked off by players like Texture.
Yeah, I mean, listen, rounds like these where Texture just peeks out aggressively with the operator, I mean, that's all credit to Texture, right? I don't think you can fault the initial kind of peek in from Flips. He's trying to take elbow control. He's trying to make sure he pressures Nest a bit more. B-side a bit more. Got a little dicey there at the end. So, who knows? We don't even know what the plan was, quite frankly, in this round because Texture just steps out. Gets that early kill.
It's just so quick, too. I mean, Flips just has no idea what hit him. Smiles from the GenG coaching staff.
Oh, man, yeah. You know things aren't going so well when both Solo and HSK look very, very comfortable, very chill. And now, no real ultimates to use on the side of RRQ. You have the
Molly shock into flash. We got an orb. We're going to double orb default, maybe.
Now we're looking slightly back to that default setup from GenG. Meteor still sneaking around, trying to get as much information as possible. Xfero heard that gate crash.
Yeah, so off of that, right? I love that Xfero's taking that, but I would love to see
love the drone from here as well. This is nice. Teams are starting to. I think it's teams. It might just be this team. They do this all the time, right? You know when you normally see people drone over towards here, and it's just the most useless drone ever because someone hides in this hole. Like some people go here, but obviously it can get spammed as well. I love this one. Like on stairs. I think they have to have a little bit of A control. I'm not entirely sure. They open the door and then drone goes all the way in to see.
At the current moment. Even peeking in towards
I guess you can be seen from A main, but if no one's crossed, then you're all good.
Oh, you feel that presence, and now reading the movement.
This pit is not just on a timer. It's because Karen peeks out of A main.
The nightmare is as well that goes over towards the orb. Yeah, and Karen's just getting good info.
I mean, GenG says
keep an eye on this Euro TP. This Euro TP might actually get taken. Time is so low that they might feel like they need to do a risk.
This gate crash is about the best thing that RRQ can hope for.
Yeah, I think that has to get taken at one point.
It's a bit of a haymaker. 20 seconds left, and you just have to kind of go all in. Karen puts up the cosmic divide just to
guys, you got 10 seconds, man. Get inside with the spike.
And he's right in this little corner, swings out. Elmore had an idea, but he swaps back over onto the shorty to cut him at his torso. Flips, it's gone down in the ground. GenG, 10-1.
Oh, man.
Nicely done from Karen. I mean, he played it perfect.
Just morale crusher on
the Yori has to just TP here.
I mean, sure, overall, the read, we knew.
When you go into here in 15 seconds, you gotta take that TP.
Bouncing in and out of it. Lakia just sitting outside of the opponent's toxic screen. just absolutely distracts them to perfection, and then Karon peeks out on the ping, on the recon. The counter recon so good.
16 to 4. Okay, they at least get the Yorital into it, and I'm scared for them. I think they just need to pop it straight away.
Is done and dusted.
It's amazing setups. Now Texture gets away with daylight robbery on that kill. Tougher for RRQ to get further information now.
Literally, they put a recon into A. If he gets shot, he knows that he can pop his dash and take the jewel and get out. The amount of times he does jewels this and gets out is so silly.
But look at how GenG plays around this. Okay, dimensional drift.
Yeah, but then it's gonna buddy up. Now what do you do?
Remember how this was used? Yes, they do. They're trying to stay up in the sky, make sure that they can't enter to plant this. While that ult's going on, Texture's ready for it. GenG.
Around 180.
They're out of ideas, but it might have worked.
Although it took them a little while, although they had to work against Texture, after a little bit, they managed to push up front. Flips just took all the heat for them, and with that, they were able to set up, taking a couple of shots against GenG, but now you got to work against Meteor, who is just as sharp. Estrella, 1-on-2. We've seen this before. Can he correct the previous rounds? Tries to play around the pyramids, goes for the angle against Meteor, finds him, but as he tries to reflect back on towards Munchkin, the pyramids kind of work against him, blocking some of the
from
shots.
one
Munchkin
stomp on
will be able to
one stomp on Breeze to somehow more of a stomp on Breeze.
It is 11-1, William.
I mean, it's just an absolute masterclass from GenG. It just goes to show that having strong defaults and having good trading angles is sometimes all you need, especially on the defense. I mean, we rarely needed to see them even go for a retake, right? And obviously it helps to have someone like Karon
Nitra, thank you for saying that, man.
In the very beginning of the
bro,
map,
appreciate you.
because he just cleaned up A site. He shut it down all on his own multiple times.
Every single round, basically. Again, RRQ has been trying.
I said they needed 8 on this half.
Switch around the sites. We've seen them
they actually did.
B at times, but
because this in GenG in theory, like if you looked at, well, if you at least looked at like
you're always kept on your toes.
kickoff,
you're always wondering about it.
And
that's why I think it's
their attacks were
they really
devastating.
Need to take that space against GenG. It's just too daunting and you're too paranoid because you're not quite sure if Texture's around the corner. You're not quite sure if there's a bit of that contact play that you talked about before, William.
Yeah, I mean, again, a lot of this is that you think that you can take Hall's control, you think you can pinch onto A side, but the way that GenG holds those angles, it was a little too solid. And by the time RRQ figured they needed to pull out another plan, it's a little bit too late. Only one round on the board. Would have to be the most ridiculous thing that RQ's ever done if they want to keep this competitive on this first map.
The most ridiculous. That is just an
entire map pick as well
sea of GenG fans in the stadium right now, in the Artium. But on the other hand, you know, you'd lose.
Okay, let's at least see what the pistol strat is.
Basically, kind of ends it.
Let's see what they got for us. Anything crazy on the defense? We've got 4 people over towards.
It's straight over because RQ's on defense as well.
Okay, so you're TP for the fast A rotate, and we're going something to do with mids, double duelist.
You have to pull out all the stops here on the first round.
Do they just do the box setup? No.
Bit of a Hall's peak for Texture.
Karon hears it.
Flips.
Recon goes deep mid.
A couple of shots.
You got smoke to block off door.
Not to peek out.
Yeah,
not quite safe.
He calls for backup, right? So first is Munchkin, seeing if it's going to be a double swing. But during all of that, they make sure, okay, it's not a push out from across the map, and GenG's going to group up to re-clear. It's the pistol, so strength in numbers, and they'll be able to start to push through. And if they go through this right at the 1 minute mark, they're going to have enough time to rotate if they feel like it's not a good idea.
Champion. Yeah, you know.
Now on site, and then yeah, this is one of the better things of Astra. Obviously, you can just insta-do this smoke here, and we use the wall to block off any of the rotates, and Zafira has to somehow get 2.
They've got that recon. Xfera tries to work around the corner, around the cyber cage, and he manages to make it work.
Oh yeah, smoke a little bit off. Damn, he had to get 2. He gets 3 on site, and they missed the smoke of middle, so it kind of backfired a little bit. But this was a straight-up hero play from him, man. He did great.
Those shots in the first half, those were crispy. I mean, sure, the recon was great. You knew all the locations, but Elmymore ended the first half with 2 kills. If only they had landed some of these, maybe 1, 2 of those.
It's a nice cross-map molly as well, to be fair.
You gotta imagine that's how even the players might feel. But okay, they're just saying, all right, calm down. You know, obviously a long way to
more to go.
But now you gotta invest. Get all the buys in there, and of course, be wary of Meteor's trademark Marshall on that second round.
I mean, that's the thing. Marshall.
Yeah, and everyone just buys up into this one. It's just gotta keep this clean, gotta win the bonus.
And on the other hand, a little mistake, and GenG could walk away with a round win, which puts them.
Yeah, you could feel that one coming.
Points, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. Elmimor, a little bit unfortunate.
Gun down, and two people are here to potentially get it. Camera spots them crossing. They shoot the camera.
It's good movement from RRQ, but they have to be wary of this close
does
angle.
this guy?
GenG, he's ready for it. So that's a good clear. It checks his corners, but they're also trying to tighten the map, right? You've already pushed them away from A main. Now that you have mid control, you can stay grouped. Even if GenG comes A site, even if they get the plant, you have the numbers.
Oh man,
it's a clean
he
shot
was on it.
as well.
That's a click.
Reads, just watching the crossing around mid. Now it's down to that B squad. Next Ferris watching it as best as he can. Working up around the toxic screens. He's got cover from flips as well. Every single base covered this time from RRQ.
He won
bar from that
us.
opening shot against Elmimor. So not exactly flawless, but clean enough. He'll be able to buy back up.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they'll keep 4 weapons. Sure, it was 5 buys, so it hurts a little bit given the score difference. But all in all, a good round. Good reads in that mid-round as well to start to tighten the map. But this was the easy one. Got a mount to climb from here on out. And obviously, that Outlaw, they wish it was going to do more, but GenG says, listen, we're not taking any chances. Full armor, you love it from GenG.
You see the Outlaws here, so they have 5 Guardians.
Sticking for those long-range duels.
Also speaks to how confident they are. Flip spots the cape of the Sova, though.
He's gonna
Insta TP to go help his team, though? That's kind of nice.
Gate crash into Spike plant. Xfero now tries to work around the smoke.
Does the Yori get out of there after planning?
Very careful. A couple of shots fired through from Flips, and he's able to take down Texture. But that said, still, you've got 4 players to work against. Some of these headshot angles working out in favor of RQ for the time being. Lakia now comes through with the Aldrone just to get further information. You've got Estrella coming in, watching mid right now. Munchkin trying to work out
and we got one more molly, right? Last molly's going in now. Just landed.
Just yet. Karen's flank. Watching the angles, Karen
no smoke on this, they can get it half.
Gets an opening shot onto Flips. He might be able to get more space off of it. Able to stick the spike down to halfway, and Munchkin gets every single kill.
Dude, this comp after plant is so good. They literally descended the Yori in to get the plant. We got double molly smoke down. We got Larks on the go. We're holding over towards window. And we have the Astra suck as well.
And Karen on the lurk. This kill onto Estrella was everything. The fact is RRQ thought that might happen.
Yeah, and these two just duel at the same time from window on end. The more I watch the Astra, I'm telling you,
but then they're both
Astra is sick.
On to Karen because they're afraid that Xfero might just get taken down. That leaves the timing for Munchkin.
The effective luck is cool.
Tension bought away and everything. Now that's map point for GenG. Really quickly, potentially pushing RRQ to GenG's map pick of Ascent now. Elmimor trying to pull off the same hijinks, not wanting to over-aggress into halls this time.
This is a rough one for RRQ. You can tell that they just desperately want a bit more information, right? The way that you're peeking around halls, the way you're trying to peek around double doors. But the setup on A overall is good. You're going for a stack. You say that because the Cypher is on B, if GenG's going to try to close it out, they're going to try to go for the safer site. Now the Dimensional Drift comes out. See what the repositioning is from RRQ.
Still trying to hold out that crossfire setup. Jemkin alongside Estrella, but it's been pushed back, and you've got that
no recon shooters.
Unbelievable. Meteor now along with the blindside tries to catch drop onto Jemkin. Jemkin fires back so quick. A bit of a cloud burst, and Texture is forced to push out of it. He's looking for more of these duels. Munchkin marking the other exit, and now the spike plant comes down from Lakia.
Flips trying to check for alert
Elmimor aggro had his own recon and shock.
He's not coming through mid. This could be
Got a little bit off.
we gotta
check in on the Astra. That's a duel.
Karon even gets the kill as well.
Big impact now. Jemkin fires back
They're
though,
still
but doesn't
fine,
have
right?
time for the
Got a
defuse.
star?
Looks
Wait,
at
no
Munchkin.
star.
He
Oh,
knows
star
he's
just
got
came
this.
back.
He just doubles back,
Oh,
goes
the
in for the jump peek. Karon is still a looming threat, and
Yeah, and then
Jemkin
goes
does
the
not
star.
feel comfortable. He's very paranoid. Just swings around the back just to check, but nobody's found. Spike continues to tick away. At this point,
look how hard this is.
Left,
And on a map that is
Jemkin
this
just
big,
tries to fire away,
having
but
to
the
stop the
footsteps,
plant
everything
is a
in
nightmare.
his ears whisper that it's a GenG victory.
Okay, well, they slaughtered
Super
him.
clean from GenG.